Mike, turn your games down.
Hi, everyone. Episode 225 of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin, and who's running through a cave with me tonight?
Michael Hughes.
Orson Scott Card hater Kerry Chandler, Caruso on Twitch.
Michael Colby.
And where can people find you at?
You can listen to Jack Billings Presents Haunted Apartment Complex, or This Bizarre Adventure, which is a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure podcast that I do with superfan B. Highland.
All right. And there will be links in the show notes for both of them. And we are here to talk about a game that I've been meaning to play for, God, when did this come out? 2009?
13 years ago.
So yeah, I bought it the day, I think either the day it came out or I bought it close to release. We're talking about Shadow Complex, developed by Chair, published by Epic Games, released with remastered Microsoft.
Yeah, back in the heyday of the Xbox Live Arcade.
Yeah.
This was like this is one of the big showcase games too.
It was $15.
Yeah, it was the first $15 game too.
Mm-hmm.
It was really good back then too.
Yeah.
I struggled with it. I'm assuming that in this game they had a blue line that showed me where to go. That wasn't in the original version, I don't think, right?
It was.
Yeah.
Oh, what the hell is my problem?
Yeah, that is one of the things that I would have maybe made optional or something.
Yeah.
Like easy mode only, or maybe just like in the options, because that was kind of that takes the exploration out of it a little bit.
At least in the remaster, you can toggle it on and off.
Oh, you can? Oh, I didn't realize that. Oh, okay.
There's in the menu, you hit X, you can toggle it on and off. I never toggled it off because why would I want to make my game harder? My God.
So were we all playing the remaster?
I was playing the original. I didn't even bother with the remaster.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I did the remaster.
Yeah, I was playing it on PS5 on the remaster.
I was actually playing it on my Xbox 360.
Nice. Yeah. I currently got the 360 in the living room playing Red Dead Redemption, so I feel you.
Also for me.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I bought this on Epic at some point because this game never goes on sale. I've been waiting for years for this game to go on sale on either Steam or Epic, and it never goes on sale. I finally just got it for $10 and had a $5 off coupon.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they haven't given it away for free on Epic.
They did at one point.
Yeah, I think when it first released, they gave it away for free for like a week. I think that's how.
I may actually have it in my Epic thing. Mike told me to play it. I was like, all right. I went on PS5. I was like, $10. Yeah, I'll do that.
It's worth $10, easy.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
And I also found out, which makes this game a little bit better, that the world that is based on is the world they created that they then licensed out to Orson Scott Card to write the books for.
Oh, okay, good.
It was not his world. It was their. That's probably why that. So, and it was also before all the controversy came out, I think. That he's a piece of shit. So. But no, this game is a Metroidvania at a time when you didn't have a lot of Metroidvanias. I think this is one of the first games that really jumpstarts that motion of them being out there all the time.
Yeah, the modern Metroidvania for sure.
Yeah, that's why I had such a high memory. Like in my memory, this game was great, but I think it was because when it came out, there was hardly any Metroidvanias coming out, and that was like my thing on like Super Nintendo and PlayStation 1 was like these and even DS, but then they stopped coming out.
Yeah,
so
Metroidvanias are my.
I was like, yes.
Yeah, Metroidvanias are my favorite genre of video game, and I tend to gravitate toward more the Igavanias,
Same.
But even those had kind of dried up by 2009. The last Igavania had been Portrait of Ruin in 2006. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess Order of Ecclesia. Yeah, Order of Ecclesia is 2008, but still.
Metroid Zero Mission was 2004, so they were a trickle, but
yeah.
But it's not like today where I saw a dozen of them go up on Steam every single day.
Yeah,
I love that though.
I'm in the Metroidvania subreddit, and it's just every day. It's like, here's our new Metroidvania. Here's this new one on Steam. Here's this new one. I'm like,
I'm happy that
I'll try to play all these.
I'm happy it happened because it is a great thing, and you know, I
Agreed.
mean, sure, some aren't as good as others, but like, it makes me happy that it's a thing. That now that
it's
this
very
genre
comfortable.
exists.
It's very like it's just comfort food video gaming for me. Like I'll just, you know, in between games, just throw on a random Metroidvania that I bought on Steam or that I got for free on PS Plus or something like that, and just, you know, play. I don't necessarily finish them all, but it's just And I was listening to an interview of the developers, and they were saying just straight up, we wanted a new Super Metroid game, and Nintendo isn't making those, so we decided to make our own. Like they're wearing it on the sleeve. They're not even pretending.
Nice.
And you can see it too. When I got farther in this game, I got the speed boost. I'm like, yep, here we go. Unfortunately,
Once you got the speed boost, it's like, oh yeah, this is just straight up Super Metroid. Awesome.
But no Shine Spark ability, thank God.
No shine sparking.
I hate the Shine Spark.
Oh, I love a shine spark.
That's one of those things that you gotta have some sort of like weird mechanic like that, or else it doesn't scratch that Metroidvania itch, at least for me.
That makes it too hard. I'm not good at Shine Sparking. I've done it. I can do it, but I don't like it. Yeah, I don't even know what turned me off of this game when I first played it. I know I liked it, but I did not stick with it long at all on the Xbox Live.
So this was on like my personal wish list for a while, but I didn't have an Xbox at the time. Well, I guess I did have an Xbox when it first came out. I'm trying to think. I think I got my first Xbox in 2009 or 2010. But yeah, I don't know. I had it. I didn't have it. Then I didn't have one for a while, and I was like, man, I'd love to play that game. I hope it comes to PC someday. And then when it did, I didn't buy it.
So Michael Hughes, you played this game before, haven't you?
Yeah, I don't know how I first heard about it. I'm pretty sure I bought it when it first came out, and I have all the achievements on 360 and all that, so I liked it quite a bit. Yeah, it feels like forever ago now. Everything's kind of hazy.
Ago.
Yeah.
15 years. I'm just glad it got remastered, because I'm just surprised that this game never went on sale or anything. Like, it was just weird to me, because everything on Steam usually goes on sale. There's another Metroidvania game that I don't think will ever go on sale, Aquaria, that I keep looking at.
Oh, yeah.
It may have to do with the rights, like who owns it.
Yeah.
Like they don't have any reason to put it on sale on Steam because they can sell it on their own marketplace.
I know with this, yeah, that's for sure, because Epic don't put it on sale either. This is what Epic published game for the remaster, so they don't care.
Yeah, but they don't put the cheap games on sale very much on Epic either. They rely on you to use those $5 coupons from the like you did, I think.
Yeah, well, I just get the free games. I've only bought 2 games off Epic Store.
Yeah.
I have tons, but I bought Scott Pilgrim because it was only on Epic at one point, and I bought this.
Yeah, I bought a few on Epic, but I mostly use it for the free game every fortnight, which I think is a fun joke of theirs.
I never realized that.
Yeah, free game every fortnight. Yep.
So this game was pretty fun. Like, I mean, the graphics still hold up. I'm assuming the remastered version's a little bit cleaner, but
it's a lot cleaner.
Okay, I don't remember.
I was looking at some side-by-side video of it, and it is very, very cleaned up. I think it looks a lot better. Not that the old one looked bad. The old one looked good for 2009.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I was playing it on my 360, and it looked really good. Like, I was surprised how good that thing looked for being 15 years old.
Yeah, it does look very good. But I think the remaster looks like the remaster honestly looks like it was made in like Unity or like Unreal like recently.
Okay.
Like, even the character models look good for back then, which is impressive because games will come out today and the characters just look like woof.
But in the original, I think what I see, like looking side by side, is the textures look kind of fuzzy in comparison.
Yeah, it's definitely
it's the textures, not the models so much.
Yeah. It does have like a bad case of the most generic white guy, brown hair, freaking
Nolan North, the video game.
Yes, it's the most Nathan Drake protagonist I've ever seen.
Well, he's not even doing a slightly different
when I
voice
turned
than
this
Nathan
thing
Drake.
back on.
It would have been great if this is just another Nathan Drake adventure. Did a little
felt
side
like
thing.
it. Like it may as well have been an Uncharted Metroidvania.
That would be awesome.
He does the same voice completely,
He does.
and it's kind of annoying because this guy has range. Like I know
Did
he
you
has range. I've heard him.
Did you recognize the voice actor for Claire?
Mike should.
Yeah, you should. It's Eliza Schneider. She's what's her
Rebecca
name?
Crane.
Rebecca Crane in the Assassin's Creed series.
Oh, is that the Rebecca Crane? Which one is that again? Is that the? That's later on, right? That's like 2 and on.
Yeah, 2 and on.
I haven't played 2
started
in
in 2.
I haven't played 2 in anything.
She's in 2. She's in Brotherhood. I know she's in 3 and Black Flag and Valhalla. I think she's in some of the others too, but I know she's in those. She was also she was Beekman's assistant in Beekman's World, which is a show I watched a lot as a kid.
She barely has any lines in this game too, though. Like she's not around very often. She gets kidnapped, and then you see her here and there, but like, really don't have a. You're just kind of running around just murdering people.
Yeah, I mean, she does have a significant role to play, though. I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I guess was this his girlfriend or just some girl he met at a bar recently? Like, oh hey, come on, let's go to this cave.
I think it's his girlfriend.
They say in the wiki that it's his girlfriend, but in the opening cutscene, they talk about how they were just talking the other day, and he's like, "Oh, you're hitting on me. I would have said anything." It's like,
it's not like you just met.
Right. So I don't know.
Yeah,
like, hey, I got this great idea. Let's go raid a base.
Yeah,
But
they're
then,
definitely
there's
very
the
early
twist.
in their relationship.
Yeah, it does seem like it's very early in the relationship.
He does a lot for someone he just met.
Well, he's heroic. He's generic white guy hero guy. He's gonna save her. He's hero man.
He should have the buzzed hair. That was the style at the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I was so happy when he got a mask and I didn't have to see his face anymore.
He's fine.
I just didn't. I mean, like I'm just running around in blue jeans and a t-shirt. I'm like, this is not video gamey enough for me. Like when he gets the armor and he starts getting the outfit, I'm like, okay, now we're getting into what I want. Like I don't want to see your face. I don't have to. I just want, like, okay.
Yeah, it definitely sucks, especially after that opening where you play as the full soldier suited guy, and then you get killed. That intro is awesome.
yeah. And you're a black guy in the beginning also, aren't you?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is refreshing. And then, nope, you're dead. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. They killed him pretty quick. Like, oh, you thought you got that armor on? We let you get that armor, and they blow him up. It's like the vice president is dead.
The abilities, as it's been called.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking that too. I think it's Jeff Gerstmann that coined that.
Yeah, Jeff Gerstmann. I like that phrase.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I mean, it's. I mean, again, it's cool. It gives you at least a reason. At least it's not like Super Metroid, where I have amnesia. I don't know how to use my equipment. Something stupid like that.
Super Metroid is that her. No, what is it in Super Metroid?
In Ridley,
Metroid Prime is that it's damaged by Ridley.
Yeah,
right?
Metroid Prime is damaged. Metroid Other M is Adam says no.
No, we don't talk about Other M. We do not talk about Other M. I refuse.
I've never actually played it much yet. I want
You
to
can fix that.
I'm in the process.
You know what? I'd play it. I'd play it for you, Mike.
Yeah, I would too.
I'd do
It might happen if I can get it to work with a Xbox 360 controller. Then I'm probably on board.
Well, you need it has motion stuff. I don't know. I guess you can map the motion. No, yeah, I've played a good number of Wii games on a Xbox 360 controller. You could do it.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's holding me back is that I hate the Wii controller.
It's really not bad, that game. Honestly, that game is if you take out the story and the voice acting and all the cutscenes, it's and it's actually not bad. It's like the gameplay of the game is actually pretty good, I think.
It's still the worst Metroid game, but it's not bad.
Of the main series. I mean, I haven't played like the Freedom Force or whatever they're called.
Federation Force
or the Prime Hunters or any of that stuff. So I don't know.
Prime Hunters is the main series, I think, sort of. Supposed to be.
Well,
that's another story.
Ones where you play as Samus. Do you play as Samus in Prime Hunters?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
it takes place in between 1 and 2, I think.
Yeah. I'd say Other M is the worst, but it's definitely worth playing, and just you have to skip through the cutscenes if you can. I don't remember if you can skip them.
It's Team Ninja though. That has me worried.
You don't like Team Ninja.
I don't think I like anything they've made.
Well, no, me either. Honestly,
They made Ninja Gaiden.
Wolong is the first
Correct.
thing that Team Ninja made that I like.
I've heard that's really good.
It's really good.
I'm a big Dark Souls fan, so
They did Hyrule Warriors. I do.
I've heard it's got a little bit of a Dark Souls going to it.
It's very Sekiro, but
more
it's
Sekiro.
like
That's cool.
it's like more forgiving than Sekiro. And
That's cool. I'm on the final boss of Sekiro right now, so
yeah, you'll like it then. I think you should definitely check it out, especially if you have Game Pass.
Oh yeah, I've got it installed actually. I just haven't played it yet.
Oh yeah, definitely play it. You'll like it.
Another thing with Shadow Complex I thought was interesting too is that it really goes for that 2.5D style gameplay, or at least look graphics wise, where like you see enemies in the background that you can shoot. I mean, I wasn't crazy about it, but it does look cool. Even though I think I would have rather had more just 2D, not 2.5D, but it had, you know, it's a time 2009. I don't think you could have done 2D and just been accepted as well.
Yeah, it can be a little wonky at times, but I appreciated the swing. You know,
You're like shooting enemies that are in the background and stuff, but it kind of raises questions too, because there's a one point where you're running down this hallway and you can see in a perpendicular hallway that Claire is being pulled along by some guards, and Jason's like, Claire, no! And he just keeps running forward instead of going down that hallway to where she is. It's like, I can't turn!
I can only run one way! Why does he care? He met her at a bar.
Yeah, it's definitely very video gamey. There's nothing about this game that says anything other than I am a video game, which is fine.
I mean, also in the beginning they got to say like, "Oh, I don't want to be a secret agent like you, Dad. I'm gonna go my own path. I'm gonna go murder 1,000 people in a base."
It's a video game because you have to have a backpack before you can grab onto ledges.
You need her climbing gear, because you see him plot a little thing, you don't see him doing nothing with it, but yes. I mean, at least as you get other tech, everything else makes sense in video game world. Like, he gets a jetpack. Okay. He gets, speed boot. He gets a, super suit. Like, all that. Like, okay, then I could buy everything after that. But you're right. I didn't even realize the climbing gear let me jump on walls. I just started doing it.
Some of the upgrades are pretty cool, like the grappling hook that you could just shoot out whenever. It's not like Metroid where you have to have certain blocks.
Yeah, it was useful. You could grab people's shields, that was nice too.
Yeah, I did that. I think I did that maybe twice, but it was very cool.
I meleeed everybody. I play this game on the easy difficulty, so I could easily just melee everyone if they were nearby. That was fun. Lots and lots of punching.
Especially once you get the power suit and they can just go flying.
Yes.
Havoc physics.
I thought of you when I first got there. I'm like, oh, Mike will like this.
It's like knocking guys into walls and stuff, and then just like the body flips out like Oblivion or something. I love it. Classic.
That was the most. I would go out of my way to do melee kills.
It was just easier sometimes. He would just miss a lot. It felt like.
Oh yeah, it was kind of a guaranteed kill.
They're in my way.
I don't know if it's new to the remaster, but there's a whole lot of different animations for the melee kills. Like, if you jump at someone and hit the melee button, you like do a jump kick, which I don't remember. And like I said in the group chat, I had one I'd never seen before where I was hanging on a ledge and there's a guy below me and Jason like reaches down with his legs and just snaps the guy's neck.
Yeah.
Oh, I never saw that.
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah, I had it once and I'd never seen it before.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of opportunities where you would be hanging above somebody like within that reach. But yeah, I had that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that's in the original because I was just shooting a lot of people, and that I noticed that it's very, very easy. Like this whole game is easy. I was waiting for a difficulty spike because I do play a lot of Metroidvanias. So I was like, all right, this is when it's going to start to get hard. And then it just never did.
Yeah,
like,
this was super easy.
Yeah, even on medium difficulty, like the shooting is real easy. Like to get a headshot, it's very easy. And like Mike was saying earlier, with the blue line, it just lets you find everything. There's like no exploration to it. It ended up being just so simple.
Yeah, I think for me, the part where it did finally have exploration was at the end, when you can just go beat the game, or you can collect all the parts to the suit that you haven't gotten yet. That at that point, it doesn't necessarily, it blue lines you to the end of the game, and it doesn't blue line you to the suit parts. And then you've got to do some exploring and some stuff to find the parts. But I think there was more than one.
I think it was just, I had everything but the helmet, and I thought it led me there. Maybe I went off path and just grabbed stuff. I don't remember.
I don't know for sure. I don't know how much I had left, but I was trying to 100% it without using a guide, and I just accidentally walked into the ending of the game. And then I beat the boss, and I was like, wait, was that the end of the game?
It doesn't do a good job of like giving you point. There's no point no return warning. Like normally a game will say like, are you sure you want to do this? There's nothing.
A lot of times. I mean, that's happened to me before. Some games too. Like it happened to me with, speaking of Assassin's Creed, it happened to me with Assassin's Creed 3. But
that game locks multiple things at different parts.
Yeah, I was trying to 100% that game, and I beat the Ezio trilogy, each of them 100% completion, and then I get to Assassin's Creed 3 and beat it at like 54% completion.
Because it locks out a lot of side quests.
Because it locks out everything. But yeah, I thought that this game, speaking of the difficulty, it was insanely easy. Like there was never a single point where it was hard, unless there's like one or two bosses where I didn't know what to do at first. And so I would, specifically basically the ATST, I knew exactly what to do, but I just wasn't doing it right. And so I died on that boss like 10 times. Just because I didn't know what to do. But then once I just watched a video saying what I was supposed to do, which is what I was trying to do, but I was aiming at the wrong place, then I beat it on the first try. It's like,
I couldn't grapple hook his shield off. I just shot him a whole bunch on easy and finally killed him.
I feel like I grappled that thing every place imaginable underneath until it finally just decided, okay, we'll turn on the shield now because you've been at this forever.
That was it exactly. Like, and I was gumming up his knees to do it with the gummy gun, whatever it's called.
I didn't even think of that.
The foam gun.
Yeah, so because then you can just stand under him and aim at the shield thing and pull it off. And that was what I was trying to do, but I was just like missing. I was like aiming at the wrong place or something.
That's cool. The foam gun is something very unique to this game.
It is.
It's not something that you would have in your normal Metroidvanias.
It's very cool.
The only other game I think that has anything like it is that 2017 Prey, which it basically has the exact same thing where you can shoot foam and then walk on it.
That's cool. I liked it.
That 2017 Prey, is that a Metroidvania?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, not so much. What do they call the exploratory? Oh, what the shit? I don't know.
But no, it's not. I also don't really. When I think Metroidvania, I also think 2.D, 2.5D. I don't think. I mean, I know Metroid Prime is a Metroidvania, but
I definitely don't ascribe to that, because I think any game where you have like exploration based gameplay where you have to get movement based abilities that let you progress, or just abilities that not just like keys, but like abilities you use in the game that are necessary for exploration. To me, that's the defining. Like Arkham Asylum, for instance, I would definitely call it Metroidvania. But I haven't played
Order.
Yeah, Jedi Fallen Order is Sekiro times Metroid Prime.
No, they did throw a lot of different things at you. This game also does have infinite ammo, so you never have to worry about ammo for your guns. And I think
that was good.
It does a good job of also like you progress so far, okay, get a new gun. You progress so far, here, get a new gun.
Yeah, because the game this is the most like to me is The Mummy Demastered.
Mm-hmm. And The Mummy Demastered is way better than that.
Oh, it is. Yeah, I love The Mummy Demastered. It's such a good game, and it's a shorter game too. You can beat The Mummy Demastered in a few hours. Though this is pretty short, but
yeah, I beat this in 5 hours, and I went back and got a decent amount of equipment.
You're playing on easy though, and had a map, right?
I had a map, yeah.
Okay. I think I beat it in 7.5, but I was not doing that. But Mummy Demastered without a guide, you'll beat in like 2.5, 3 hours. Probably. Only it's harder, so maybe not. But it has like very similar. I mean, everything. It's a very similar game. It doesn't have the 2.5D like the diorama thing going on with it. It's much more Metroid than this in that sense.
I do want to play it. I've heard a lot of good things about it.
Yeah, it's very good. But what I was going to say is it's hard. it does not have infinite ammo. So you reload ammo at save points. Even then, I don't think you necessarily get all your ammo at save points. There's just maybe you do. I can't remember.
I think it does the same thing that Shadow Complex does with the health. Like there's an amount of health on the shelf.
Oh, right. Yes, that's what it does.
If you still have some, it'll fill it up to the top. But if you don't have any,
that's right. And I think you can go in and out of the save room though, and it'll refresh. So you can still. Yeah. So it's basically like it refills it, but it's
Mummy Demastered also has a bunch of different like cooler guns too.
Yeah, and you can switch between them. That's a difference also. This one, you get a new gun. That's your new gun, and it's fine because it's always better.
Like that.
But still.
I mean, yes, they're always more powerful, but at the same time, it was kind of weird to me, like that you just replace your gun with a new gun, replace your gun with a new gun. And I'm like,
Yeah, I mean, it's essentially you're just powering up the power of your gun, but it also changes the fire rate.
I would have rather had the machine gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to sound like I'm talking shit on this game because it's very good and it has a lot of good ideas and it has a lot of stuff that was iterated on in future Metroidvanias, and it did
100%.
It did like get this genre going again. It's just like one of those things it's almost too generic. It's almost too easy. But if I was going to show somebody a Metroidvania who had never played one, I think this would be the one that I would show them.
That's fair.
I can see that.
Yeah, because this one it's definitely generic enough.
I think I'd show it to someone who had not played one since Super Metroid. Maybe I'd be like, okay, well, you like Super Metroid. Here's a good intro into the modern Metroidvania.
Yeah, I mean, this game's simple enough. You only have a few different weapons. You have your foam gun, grenade launcher, and you have... That's it. I mean, you're not introduced to the speed thing till way late in the game, and
right.
I don't think you really need to break that much stuff with the speed to progress to the actual main game. I think there's some.
Mostly
nothing. There's the challenging ones are all optional stuff where you had to run and jump through something to get.
Yeah.
Those are annoying.
No, they were easier than Shine Spark puzzles typically are. So
yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I would, show this to somebody first. Like if somebody was like, "Oh, you like Metroidvanias, can you recommend one?" I would probably recommend this because of how easy it is. It's very hand-holdy, the exploration is almost optional.
Yeah.
You can finish this game with like 15% of, what is available.
Yeah, you don't need to get all the stuff. I mean,
yeah, I should have watched a speed run. I usually watch a speed run of the games before we talk about them, and I should have watched a speed run because I bet they fly through it pretty fast.
Yeah, there's a way that you can beat. I think there's even an achievement for beating the game with 4% of the collectibles, and it's like you have to speed run to where you fight that first spider bot, and then there's a part of the floor that's open up that takes you later on in, and you can get like the foam gun and stuff way early.
You can also skip the foam gun too.
Oh, wow.
The doors that you need the foam gun for, you can glitch through, or you can somehow get through. Other ones, you can have the little bot in front of it, shoot the door, miss you, and open the door for you.
Nice.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So there's ways to get past that. Or you can beat the game the way you beat the game the first time, Mike.
How so?
Where you would just leave her.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. So I think it's after you get the jetpack, the double jump, and you can go back to the Jeep where you first start the game, and you can hit the interact button, and you just get in the Jeep and leave, and it gives you an achievement called Status Update Single.
No.
He's like,
That's
there are other
great.
fish in the sea. He just drives off. It's fantastic.
Now I've got a super suit.
That definitely seems like something that this guy would do too.
It's awesome.
You seem like an asshole. I did not like the character.
No.
As it turns out, though, he's being fucking manipulated. She wasn't like actually. She was fucking working for the CIA or whatever, like secretly recruiting him.
Which also makes no sense why you would go into a military base with a terrorist organization with one guy who isn't even an agent who you don't even know. Be like, well, he'll be my backup.
No, they must have figured out that he was Nolan North, and they're like, all right, we got.
She doesn't know that he was trained by his dad to be a soldier.
Even
I mean, maybe she does.
You wouldn't.
She said something about them. The NSA, I think, is who she works for. They said they were like profiling them. So But
in
still,
2013, you could tell that this guy was trained to do stuff like that because of, the square jaw and the messy brown hair.
Yeah, he's obviously been trained in.
Yeah, he's obviously the protagonist.
and he's also voiced by Nolan North.
I just wish Nolan North would have did a different voice because there's two Nathan Drake. It was just I just kept thinking Nathan Drake every time I heard him talk, and I'm like, this is annoying.
He was doing a voice for a $15 Xbox Live Arcade game.
Yeah,
He's like, no,
I didn't
I'm not.
remember this being that Uncharted, but it is Uncharted ass Uncharted.
Well, and had Uncharted come out by this point?
I think so. Maybe
first
the
one
first one
surely did.
I think it did. I'm going to check that right now. I mean, it would have been PS3, obviously. I'm looking up to see when the first one was. Maybe it wasn't because, first one 2007, and then second one 2009. So when we didn't have, a ton of games at the time,
Right.
but still.
So the second one came out the same year as this. So
yeah, we had
that's not bad. That's not bad.
But no, it just, it's hit me so much in this game.
Which I've not played the Uncharted. I am very familiar with the series, but I just my PS5 is my first PlayStation since the PS2, so I was not like
they're good to go back to. One's rough. I'm just gonna say that.
I've never played any of them, so I was just I knew who he was, and I've seen clips of the game enough to recognize the voice, but I didn't have the Nathan Drake saturation that you guys might have.
That makes this game better. Because it really threw me off a lot. One thing cool this game does do, like certain parts you flood a compartment, and when you go back, it's still flooded. I did like that. It also made me think of Metal Gear Solid 2 when you're going to the oil plant.
Yeah.
Okay, but there's no Emma. Hold my hand. There's none of that in this, though. I don't know. That's just what I thought of immediately. I also don't understand why his girlfriend, when you find out she's an NSA agent, I mean, she really doesn't do anything. She gets captured, she gets tortured, and you hide her behind a box, and she gets captured again.
Well,
stuff me behind these cabinets.
She manipulates you into going in and getting the suit. So there's that.
Oh yeah,
I mean, she's doing stuff. She just you don't see her doing it.
I love that scene when he comes across her and that doctor guy's like got her all juiced up, and he's like, "I don't think you look like a killer," and then Jason immediately shoots him in the head.
Yeah, that was like, I mean, how do you think he got here? Like, you do know this place is fully guarded, right? Like, you really think he just snuck all his way over here?
Yeah.
Like, he didn't have to kill someone to get here? Because it's pretty deep into place when you find her.
Yeah. The first time?
Yeah, well, when you find her when she's paralyzed, yeah. Like, yeah. I mean, I think you're deep enough. I mean...
It's pretty early.
It's like a quarter of the way through.
Yeah, I get, yeah.
Okay. I don't know, I just found that weird, too. Like, you're not a kid, you just shoot him in the face, like...
I think it probably felt like late enough because the early game stuff is probably like the trickiest stuff. But once you start getting upgrades, that's when you really start just blasting through this game.
Yeah, you get a lot better quickly.
Yeah, you become pretty godlike pretty fast in the game, and then it's just you just mow through things. I think for me the big jump is when you get the double jump. That really opens up things a lot, which is typical of these games.
Yeah, and you get the triple jump, which I never...
Or the triple jump, yeah.
I didn't care for the triple jump at all. I was like, I would just, like, I don't know, it felt unnecessary, or I just forgot.
With the speed boost. I love just, like, going around the top of the map and just, like, flying from one side of the level to the other, barely touching the ground.
There's an achievement for running across the entire span of the lake.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, I got that, too.
I did not get that.
And just playing around up there is how I wandered into the final boss fight also. I was just like, oh, I need to go to this area. Oh, the easiest way to go there is to just fly across the lake. I'm going to do that real fast. Oh, boss fight. I'll do that. Oh, into the game.
Yeah.
Oh.
It would have been nice if it was in its own like sequestered part of the map and not just a place that you've been a dozen times already.
Yeah, it's like the easiest way to traverse the map.
Yeah, this map is not very big at all.
No, not at all.
Maybe I'm just like spoiled by like Axiom Verge and like actual Metroid games. When I looked at this finished map, I was like, this is one of the smallest Metroidvania maps I've ever seen.
I mean, it's basically one of the large zones in Metroid like Dread.
Yeah,
like
it does
the entire
feel
map
like
of this. It's like one zone for Dread.
I don't know if you ever played Zeo Drifter.
Oh yeah, I played that. That
one has like 3 very small maps, and it was like 2 of those very small maps put together, and I was like, I can't believe this is the final map. Like it felt very small. And again, I don't want to sound like I'm talking like a lot of trash on this game, because I did really enjoy it back then, and I have been spoiled by a lot of Metroidvanias since. But yeah, it's so easy, it's so handholdy, and it's so like such a small map that I was like put off by it in this playthrough. But if you're not into this genre, I think this would be a great place to start.
Yeah, it is. It's one that it's just like you can just pop through it real fast, enjoy yourself, move on.
It's got maybe the most forgiving wall jump in any Metroidvania too.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
I love it. It's like I don't even use ladders. I'll just jump back and forth on an incline to get up.
Totally.
Yeah,
That's the way I wish like all wall jumping was in Metroidvania.
Yeah, for sure. It is nice when they don't, force you to do something. It's like, oh, well, this was really hard in Super Metroid, so we're going to make it really hard. You don't have to do that.
Right.
And you probably shouldn't.
I was happy that nothing was that hard. Like, especially on easy, like you could just play through this game. The boss fights against the different mechs weren't that bad. Nothing was that challenging. And that was nice.
Yeah, there's that wheel, the wheel boss that just kind of races around the room, and I just stood on top of the upper platform, aimed up at a 45-degree angle, and every time it came by, I just shot it with a rocket, and then it would speed off and do another loop.
That was a stupid boss fight.
That was the boss fight.
Yeah.
That was a bad boss fight.
I would say I would have liked it to be a little harder, but that's fine. It was still good. I could have played it on hardcore or insanity if I was really interested in it being hard.
What I've seen, it does look hard on the harder difficulties. Like you actually have to try. Like I didn't have to try. People were shooting. That's fine. I just held down my gun and shot at them.
Well, I think all that really changes is like your HP and resistance to damage and their HP. And it just makes everything take more shots and you take less shots.
Yeah, that sounds right. Especially for the time for a $15 Xbox Live Arcade game.
Yeah.
It's also impressive what this game really changed because, I mean, this was the first big Xbox Live Arcade release. I mean, I remember this being like the summer, like this is the summer game, and this really, kind of like broke that whole thing that they just started doing where they would have big games that would come out on, the Arcade Live. This isn't really indie because I don't think I consider Chair indie.
What is the development team called?
Chair. Yeah.
Chair. I'm not even familiar with them.
Yeah, I'm not super familiar with them either.
They're somehow involved with Epic later on.
This was part of the second Summer of Arcade. 2008 had Bionic Commando Riard, Braid, Castle Crashers, and a couple other little ones.
Oh, Castle Crashers rules.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my son and I play that a lot together.
This one had Turtles in Time Reshelled and Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Nice.
Oh, I'm so mad. When I got my Xbox 360 back, I tried to re-download Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and it's just not there anymore.
Even if you already own it?
You should be able to go into, like, wherever the re-download stuff is. You wouldn't be able to find it on the store.
Yeah, no, that's what they say. But even when I went through my downloads, which was a lot, it's still there was still a couple of them that were like, file not found or whatever, and I went through it like 3 times and never found Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Bummer.
So if somebody knows
ways, I can help you with that. Just not on your 360.
Yeah, if somebody knows of a way to get that back, hit me up on Instagram, Jack Billings Presents, and then let me know how to do that.
I mean, that's shitty if they did that. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised because Disney is crazy with that freaking license. So I would not be surprised if they found a way just to make it disappear because they're like, nope, you can't play these games. Nope, they have X-Men in it. We don't like the X-Men. I'm so glad that's over with. Plus, they fired that guy, so that was good too. For those that don't know the legendary story, whether it's true or not, it's still funny, is that the guy in charge of Marvel Comics got mad that he didn't have X-Men, that they didn't have the X-Men rights because of the movies, and he told them they can't have X-Men in comics and just threw a fit and threw stuff and stormed out. So... Yeah, that's why you didn't see X-Men in much stuff, or Fantastic Four in it, for a while and things, really, because he was mad that they didn't have the movie rights that they sold.
Yeah. They probably didn't use Fantastic Four because that's a terrible superhero team.
Well, it is, but no, it was strictly because they didn't have the movie rights. So, that's why, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, or no, Infinite doesn't really have any X-Men in it, I think, right? Or something like that. Because they were mad. They were like, nope, we don't know who the X-Men are.
I know Infinite has Wolverine and Cyclops. Pretty sure. I don't know.
It might, but not the full range like what it should have.
Marvel Heroes full on pulled off the Fantastic Four at one point.
Is that the online game you loved?
That's the one.
Okay. Time to reset that calendar. It's been 0 days. I look at videos of it every so often. I'm like, damn, I want to play this.
That's so
And I just want to say, I was wrong. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite does not have one single X-Men in it.
Okay, that's what I
I'm
thought.
right now. I'm looking right now, and nope.
Yeah, they were pissed.
Not
I mean, they were.
one.
It's just stupid.
Not even a mutant. There's not even a mutant in it.
Mm-hmm. They didn't own the right to them.
Insane.
Holy shit! I'm looking. Yeah, there's none of that. No Fantastic Four, of course, either.
I mean that's okay in that aspect, but like X-Men is like, come on now.
Yeah, I was like, no. I remember Wolverine being. You can't have a Marvel vs. Capcom movie, game without Wolverine. Nope.
You can when you're mad.
I guess so. Wow.
Is Deadpool in there?
Nope.
Wow.
Even
Deadpool.
Black Panther, Black Widow, Captain America, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange. I'm not gonna.
Because they were really just pushing the MCU at that time. They didn't care about anything. They didn't have the.
Oh yeah, it's almost all MCU, and then
that's why
there's Spider-Man stuff also. There's Spider-Man and Venom.
That's close enough.
And the rest is like every other one on here is part of the MCU. And I guess so is Spider-Man now, but he wasn't at the time. But
yeah. I did have one part in this game where I died like 3 times because I couldn't figure out what to do. When you first get the foam gun, you gotta like shut down the power plant type thing. And I kept trying to get past it or get to like these little squisher things, and I just kept getting murdered. So I went, you gotta foam it.
Yeah.
Because like the way that you know what you can shoot, the flashlight in this game will have items glow a certain color, so you know that you can then use said weapon on them.
Yeah, that was convenient.
I liked it. I was very upset when things were blue though. But other than that, I was fine. I hate speed running like that in game. Like I hate any game that makes like Metroid does it. I hate when I gotta run. I need a certain amount of distance to run fast so I can get enough speed to go super fast.
Oh, I love it. I love a speed run in a game.
I was about to say that's like when those games get good. Like when you can speed run, I'm like, yes, finally.
It's my least favorite thing in any Metroidvania. But I'm also more of an Egavania guy than I am Metroidvania. It's just that there's less Egavanias, I think.
Oh, I don't know about that.
No, I don't know. I think there's more.
I play less of them, I should say.
I think there's, especially if you're counting all the indie games that 8-bit. I mean,
yeah,
there's way more where you have a sword than
and even like just straight up Castlevanias. I'm looking at my list. Like I'm one of those maniacs who keeps a list of everything that they like, and like a numbered list.
Nice.
And I'm looking, and there's over twice as many Castlevania games as there are Metroid games.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I need to play more of those then.
Yeah,
I don't know. I like
besides, probably Cycle of the Moon is the worst one. If you have a DS, Circle of the Moon. If you have a DS, what's the one with the witch lady where you draw the sigils?
Order of Ecclesia.
That one rules. Order of Ecclesia rules.
Yeah.
Never got around to it yet. I don't have a. I have a DS, but I'm playing Dawn of Sorrow here shortly on the show in a couple months.
Oh man, I love Dawn of Sorrow. It's one of my favorites.
Never played it. That's why
I was recently playing Dawn of Sorrow, and the thought crossed my mind: is this better than Symphony of the Night? It's not, but the thought did cross my mind.
Michael, I'm with you. Symphony of the Night is my 3rd favorite video game. I play through a randomizer. I'm currently playing through a randomizer of it right now, but I do that like every month or two. Mm-hmm. But I played Dawn of Sorrow, and I was like, is this better than Symphony of the Night? And I decided I was like, not quite.
Yes.
But it's up there.
Yeah,
I like it more
closer. Be closer without the touchscreen bullshit.
Yeah, and you can if you play it on PC, they have a patch, they have a ROM hack for it that takes out the touchscreen stuff.
Yeah, and Aria might be better than Dawn. But
it might. I feel like Dawn. For me, Dawn is just. Did you like Aria? Well, here's Aria plus another like 15%.
Yes,
it's just more Aria. So I like it more than Aria just because it's Aria plus for me. But I love Aria too. That's another one I do randomizers.
Yeah, they're all but tied as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. So yeah, Dawn of Sorrow is great. Yeah, hit me up, Michael, because I love to.
You're already on the list for that one, so.
We should both be. Yeah, that's a.
Yeah, I'll take any Metroidvania you got because I probably played it, and if I haven't, I would be thrilled to play a new one.
Exactly, that's me. Exactly, I'm just like, there's a new Metroidvania.
There's
Let's
many
do
of
it.
them.
Let's try it. I still haven't beaten Axiom Verge 2. I need to finish that one.
Never
Yeah,
touched that
same.
series yet.
Axiom Verge 2 was a tough one to like sort of break through, but once you get into the groove of it, it's really good.
Yeah, I need to start it over because I was liking it, and then something else came out, and I put it down, and I haven't picked it back up in like 6 months. So
Yeah, I replayed it when it went on PlayStation Plus Extra, I think.
oh yeah, I've got it on there. I pre-ordered it on the Nintendo Switch. I pre-ordered that game as soon as it was available for pre-order.
Yep.
Because I love Axiom Verge.
I played through it on Switch the first time, and I sort of struggled with it. But when I played through it on PlayStation, I was like, "Oh, okay, this is great."
Yeah. So I need to. Yeah, it did because it has some slowdown on the Switch. So yeah.
The Switch is
I
kind
got
of
it installed on my PS5. I just need to play it.
I definitely recommend it.
I like Axiom Verge 1 a lot. That was the first game that Epic gave away for free when they opened the Epic Game Store.
Oh, I think I should have it then. I definitely have it one way or the other. But kind of bring back to Shadow Complex. Another thing I want to bring up. Hey, we're still Metroidvania.
We're talking
so
about Shadow Complex.
It's still on top.
It's hard to talk very long about a 5-hour game.
No, and there's no story. That's the other thing I want to say. Like, there was, sure, there's a story, but it didn't push me. Like, you don't care about the villains. All the villains all have masks on at all time. You never see a face. And, like, it wasn't until Kerry had I think Kerry made a comment or someone made a comment to me that it's supposed to be, like, in quotations, they put ultra-left nationalists or ultra-left terrorists were fighting or something. But none of that's in this game, thank God. Like, there's no, like, they don't ever tell you, like, what their motive is. It's like, oh, we're going to liberate San Francisco. It's like, you're not given anything other than they're going to blow up a city. Let's kill them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
I assume the Orson Scott Card novel turns out that they're all, like, secretly, like, gay pedophiles or something. But,
I have a copy of the first book, actually.
Or Jews. He also, yeah.
I bought it at a used bookstore.
Was this game like co-opted by the alt-right? Is that like, because that seems to be something that they do a lot, is like take stuff and go,
they sold it to Orson Scott Card, and he has very much been adopted by the alt-right. So
okay, I just wasn't sure if they did that with the
I think that's also why
stuff.
we never seen a sequel or anything else with this, is because of all, like, because it's right before this game came out. I was reading on Wikipedia, there was a thing people wanted to boycott this game because of Orson Scott Card, and it's like he's not even credited as writing the story for this. He's just involved with the books because they took the license. Here you go, want to write, you can write some books for it, and then they thought that would help promote the game probably or promote the world, and then it turns out he's a shitty person. So that was the end of that.
That's hilarious.
Because there was talks of a sequel, and then nothing is. They just went and they made Infinity Blade games, and then they went and did other stuff, but nothing else with this series. And I don't.
Oh, they made Infinity Blade. Oh, that's cool.
They're the same company made that.
Yeah, that's a as a $10 iPad game goes, that's a good game.
I've heard good things about it, but I don't have iPad or any Apple products.
With a very good short tie-in novella by Brandon Sanderson, another Mormon author. Interesting.
Brandon Sanderson's a good person, I think.
Well, he is. He is a very good person, but still, it's just interesting that it's two Mormon authors for the same game series.
He also finished. He actually finished Wheel of Time too. So.
Oh no, yeah, he's my favorite author. Yeah, but I was just saying, it's interesting.
Unlike this guy.
Interesting parallel. Yeah, no, unlike this guy.
Or Scott Card wrote good books, and then you find out, hey, he wasn't kidding when he talked about genocide in Ender's Game.
I don't know, and then you go back and reread some of those books, and you see some things.
Yeah. I haven't read them in a long time, but I was at a random used bookstore in New Mexico, and I knew this game was coming up on the schedule, so I was like, oh, a copy of Empire and a copy of Ender's Game, and I know that none of the money would go to him because I'm in a random used bookstore that's huge, and I'm like, all right, I'll pick these up for $3 each.
Yeah, you gotta read it and let me know.
Yeah, I still got to finish reading The Fifth Civilization, which I started in New Mexico and then just stopped reading, even though it's very good, written by Peter Bingham Pancratz, friend of the show. But yeah. I can't read Ender's Game before I finish his book, or there's something wrong with me.
That would be kind of mean.
Yeah, like, hey, your book's great, but I wanted to read a book about a racist from a racist guy. No, I'll wait. I already read Ender's Game once. But I'm glad that he's not as involved. Like, I thought he was more involved with this series.
Yeah,
and I was
I'm glad to
see
know that he wasn't involved at all.
It's not his creation.
Yeah.
That it was just, he was like, here, we made this world. And again, it's in this game, it's blank enough to never know what the terrorist organization that you're going against is up to or what their ideas are.
Well, that's kind of the problem. They're just like, we are terrorists. Bad.
Yeah, I mean
We
that's.
killed the vice president. We're attacking San Francisco. Cause
I mean, that's probably where they had the book. It's like, oh, well, let's got Card write these 2 books, and then it will, give more story to our world, and but.
well, that's interesting because that's exactly the deal with Infinity Blade. Infinity Blade has just no story whatsoever. It's just like there's a castle and there's a dude in it, and people go there and fight the dude and they die, and then their descendants come and do it again, and that's it forever for infinity. And then Brandon Sanderson wrote a good enough novella about it that the sequel, Infinity Blade 2, just uses his story.
We see that's where you hired a good author and a good person.
Yeah, there's that.
All right.
Who knows? Maybe
But I just wanted to-
maybe the Shadow Complex book is like really good. You'll have to let us know
I'll
eventually.
never read it, to be honest. If it doesn't have pictures on it, I don't read. Unless I'm traveling. When I was traveling, I was in the airport, I was on a plane, I was in New Mexico, I read a bunch of the Fifth Civilization. But yeah, if I'm not traveling, I apparently don't know how to read books that don't have pictures. Oh, also another thing I'm watching a speedrun. You can use the foam gun to like pack on top of itself to get to places you can't get to normally, which I did not.
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that a good bit actually.
Create walkways and stuff.
Did like a couple of times, like stick grenades in something where I would shoot it with a foam gun and then shoot the grenade to stick it. But that was it.
Yeah, there was a few times. Like, I think there's a couple times you have to do that, but yeah, I did that. That took me a while to figure out that I could do. It's also fun to foam somebody and then shoot them with a rocket, and then they just explode, just like in dust.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, you guys were talking about it earlier. It was fun to see those guys ragdoll like corpses on the Dark Soul floor where you're rolling around on them. They just flop around. That's fun in any game.
it
I
is.
had one where I hit a guy next to one of those like waist high gaps in the wall, and he like folded in like a folding chair to fit into it. It's fantastic.
That's great.
That may have been something that they added with the remaster because I didn't see too much crazy stuff like that playing on Xbox 360. I'm sure there was some, but it wasn't like noticeable.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they added in the remastered version.
I really enjoyed kicking the little droids.
Same.
Yeah.
It's like punting the droids across the room. It was always fun.
Especially if you can kill a guy with them.
Oh yeah, yeah. I always try to go out of my way to kill people by having a droid explode next to them and things like that.
That's
Just try to kill the environment. Like I liked shooting barrels, and then
Oh yeah.
they catch on fire, and the people around go and they start running.
Especially once you get the helmet upgrade. After you find all the hidden pass cards, you get the friction dampener. No, or is that the gun? I don't know. You find the helmet that makes you invincible
it's a
as long
helmet.
as you stand still or move slow. So I just like
I don't think I
Catch-
ever got that.
catch things on fire to make them explode. Just stand there and take it.
You got to find the 12 pass cards that are hidden
Oh,
throughout
yeah,
the
I
game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't. I was in the process of doing that when I wandered into the finale.
Yeah, you're fine. You're not. I went and got it. I went, oh, cool. Then I turned off the game and uninstalled it. So
Speaking of the finale, something to be said about firing like literal nuclear weapons at a helicopter, like at a giant like helicarrier that's not that far away from you.
yeah, everything should be destroyed. And I mean, your whole base that you're at should be just radioactive at this point because you launched 3 nukes at it.
Just raining fallout everywhere.
Yeah,
I mean, you wouldn't be okay.
Extreme. It was kind of extreme.
Well, we are playing a video game here, so it's fine.
You are right, but still, I was like,
I
mean, should we really be launching? I mean, couldn't they just have been not nuclear and just been something else? Like, oh, you're
Just
launching
regular missiles.
Yeah, I mean, they
It's
didn't
like
need to be
big
nuclear.
missiles. It was a little silly, but it was fun.
It was 2013, and that sort of thing was like that was like probably Modern Warfare 2 inspired. Like, oh, we gotta put nuclear something in here.
Yeah, but I love it in Modern Warfare 2 when it happens because your character just straight up fucking dies of radiation exposure.
No, it's
Modern
great.
Warfare 1 you guys talking about,
It's Modern Warfare 1.
which came out in
Okay.
2007. So yeah, it fits with this being 09.
Yeah, it just feels like something that they went, oh, well, that's a cool thing that people are doing in video games. Now let's do that.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And it's fine because nothing else in this game has made me think that I'm doing anything other than playing a video game. Like I wasn't like transported to a different world. I was playing a game with a controller in my hand. Like,
Yeah, it is
which
a very gamey game.
yeah, and it's fine. Like, that's fine because that's what I'm doing. But then, when we're shooting nukes at a helicopter, who cares? Like, I didn't even think about it.
Oh, I did. I was the carrier. Like, well, I don't know. I thought interesting. You fight a giant airship that you have all these people shooting at you. I mean, this game for the boss, you fight a few different mechs and then you fight an airship. It works.
Yeah, it's really a fine game.
Yeah. And then the ending of the story when you find out your girlfriend is the girl you met at a bar is just a NSA agent, and he's like, why didn't you bring an agent? He's like, well, you'd be less conspicuous. I just wanted to bring a mass murderer instead.
So we brought Nathan Drake, the infamous mass murderer.
I mean, he is a mass murderer.
Yeah, that's why I said it.
He really, really is.
Nathan Drake loves to murder.
I do like how there's an achievement in this game called Make Them Scream if you get enough people to scream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that one.
Same.
I had a few good deaths. I knocked a guy into like one of those fire bar pits where if you go in, it instantly kills you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he screamed then.
I forget. I think I cheesed my way through that achievement. I think I found some place where it was real easy to make people scream and then just went back through a door, did the same thing over and over again. It loses its luster after a little bit if you're trying to get an achievement.
Yeah, that's I mean, there's also level ups in this game, but I didn't really notice anything they really did. Like, it raised your stamina. I'm like, okay, I don't know what that is. It raised your precision. Okay, shoots a little better. Your accuracy, same thing, but all right. Like, I didn't really understand what was happening.
Most importantly, when you get to level 20 and then every 10 after, you started getting infinite ammo for your secondary stuff. So 20 you get
cool.
infinite grenades, 30 is infinite foam, and then 40 is infinite rockets.
Okay, that's good.
Because the
I
game
didn't
has
know
new game plus too, so
Oh,
you
yeah.
start at your current level and you have infinite stuff once you pick it up.
That's cool, though. I mean, that's a cool thing to have in a game.
Yeah,
I was going to try to go for more completion when I was playing this on a Saturday, but then I forget what broke me. There was something stupid that I just couldn't. Oh, yeah, there was a rocket
one
tank.
of the speed things. Didn't you? say
No,
you had
actually, it wasn't a
issues
speed
with?
thing. It was a rocket tank where to get it, I had to go, there was a fire on the floor, and I had to jump and hang on the wall, shoot three things with a rocket, and then do a triple jump to get on the wall again and shoot it again and shoot some other ones. And I did almost all of it. Then I died, and then everything reset, and I said, fuck it, and the game got uninstalled. I was like, well, we're done.
Oh, are you talking about where there's the lasers on the ground?
Yeah.
You have to you just use the grappling hook, dude.
Yeah, I did, but then when I had to move places,
Oh,
to hit-
okay.
That's how I
you were
would
trying
die.
to do it as you were.
No,
jumping.
I would grapple, shoot them, but then when you finish one area, you try to go the other.
Yeah.
I fell off at one point, and I was almost done. I just had 3 left, and I just missed my grapple, and then he died instantly, and I'm like,
Yeah,
why am
that
I
took me
playing
a
this?
couple tries. I had 99% there. The only thing I was missing was one of the rocket upgrades and just wasn't on my map, and I couldn't be asked to keep looking for it.
That's why you gotta go to FedEx and print a map like I do for every game, every Metroidvania we play in the show. It's
Yeah.
really just a thing now. I used to work there, so I would just be like, okay, I'm here anyway. I'll just, print a map, get a discount on it, and make my little map. But now I don't work there, so I just whenever we do a Metroidvania, I will find a map online, print a map, laminate it. I barely even used it for this game. I just like to have it as my trophy. So
What
I have
do
a whole
you
bunch
do
of.
with these maps when you're done with them?
They're just in a pile.
Wow.
I'll take a picture of them. Some look really cool because some have we'll say the name of the game. The Shadow Complex one is boring because there's no Shadow Complex on it.
Yeah, I did see the picture of that one. But that kind of sounds amazing, but at the same time, I would run out of room so fast. There are a couple of maps that I would love to have a printout of.
Oh, they're not that big. I just print them on 11 by 17 sheet of paper, and then I cut them out.
Oh, maybe it's just the amount of Metroidvanias I play. I'm like, oh, if I had 115 maps.
Oh, I don't have that many. I have the Metroid games, and that's really, we haven't done that many on this show. And the last Metroidvania we done on this show was Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions for DS. Great game. I didn't print one because I beat the game in a day. So
You should have a theme month, like Metroidvania, and then just play Metroidvanias all month.
I've pitched theme months before.
yeah, it doesn't work very well.
Well, I'm pitching Metroid right now.
May's already kind of defined for
Yeah.
I mean, next year maybe if I remember
Next
this.
year.
I
Next year's Metroid.
Last year on Twitter, I did Metroidvania.
Even
Not
better.
as good as
That's
me.
even sooner.
No,
Listeners, remind Michael in like January.
You have to remind me sooner the season ought to be written by I write stuff way ahead. I plan stuff way ahead of time. But if I might do it, mate. We'll see. I mean, I usually can't play the same genre of a game too much in a row or I get burned out on it. I have to switch up what I play. Usually. Like, it's just... after I made the mistake a few years ago, or more than a few now, I played Uncharted 1 through 3 in a row, and I never wanted to see Uncharted again.
Yeah, that's a
I can
bad
see
idea.
I did play 4, and I love 4, but like ever since then, I'm like, yeah, I will not play the same genre, the same game over and over, in a row. Like, I have to switch it up so there's other stuff. Otherwise, you won't care.
I'll bet you between the four of us, we could figure out 4 or 5 Metroidvanias that wouldn't get you burned out.
Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet.
I have it, by
insanely-
the way, now.
Another
Dude.
Xbox Live Arcade game.
That game absolutely rips.
It's
Dust
one
and
of my
the
favorites.
Legion Tale. That's another Xbox Live Arcade game, too. That's a really good game, by the way.
Mhm.
Dusk is good.
I really liked Dust when I played it.
Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet is 14 on my list. It's pretty high up there.
Nice.
Damn it, you guys are making me interested in this idea now.
We got Carrion. Did you play Carrion?
No,
that
Carrion's
game's
great.
red.
Oh,
Yeah, Carrion's
rules.
awesome. Carrion,
That's the one-
Good.
That's the one where you play like the Venom symbiote and you go around the base killing all the scientists and stuff.
You just
Yeah.
play a big ball of goo.
So I was at work one day administering a state test where I just have to stand in a room while kids take a test for like 5 hours. And I just wrote out a like 7-page handwritten document that was like a game design plan for what basically Carrion before Carrion was announced. And then Carrion was announced, I was like, damn it. Like to a T. I was like, well, it was a little different, but still.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, Carrion's
Carrion yet.
awesome. Yeah, Carrion's a great game.
Okay.
It was on
Any other-
it was on Xbox Live at one point. I don't think it is anymore.
It's on Steam. That's good enough for me.
Yeah.
Well, after I got a Steam Deck, that's also what really turned me on to more Metroidvanias and more games in general. 'Cause I'm like, the Steam Deck can go anywhere I want. So if I'm running low on time, I can make shit happen.
They are great to play on mobile. Like,
Oh yeah, they're great for that.
yeah. That's what my Switch is at this point. It's basically a Metroidvania machine.
Hmm
Okay.
It's a good use for it.
Yeah, I have some. Okay, maybe maybe we'll do that. Just remind me later on this year when I start getting there. Now, because I can't think of next season, or that might even be the season after. I'm not sure because every season 20 episodes, 20 weeks. Shouldn't say 20 episodes because I release 3 a week, so it's not really 20 episodes. But,
I think we found guests for that next top 10 we were talking about doing
yeah, I
now.
was going to bring it up at the end of this episode. Yeah. But
I have top 10s. I like my Google Docs is 90% top 10s or like top lists.
Nice.
yeah, then you'll fit right into our idea that I haven't announced yet. So yes. Or any last things to say about Shadow Complex? Should we go on to questions, comments, or memories?
The only other collectible I think we didn't mention is the gold bars that unlock
Oh yeah, do
a
they
room
do
of gold
anything?
weapons. I don't think so, other than the fact that that room is open when you start New Game Plus. You can get like any weapon you want right at the beginning. I don't think they're any stronger though.
No, they're gold.
Yeah, they are gold.
That's
But yeah,
about it,
there's
I think.
that.
I forgot about that. I got almost all the gold. I stopped and then I didn't care. Well, I mean, I'm not an achievement whore, and I'm also playing. Well, I was, but I'm also playing this on Epic, so I really don't care about the achievements in any shape or form on Epic.
Yeah.
Had this been on Steam, I might have been more interested because at least then it would, show up on something I actually use. I don't use that, so I was really like, I just don't give a shit.
That's totally fair for anything about this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun, but it was just kind of bummed that the story didn't grab me at all because there wasn't one.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
maybe
story.
when you replay it after you read the book, you'll be more invested.
There you go. Yeah, you got to
I
read the
don't
book
see,
first.
unless I all of a sudden change my political ideas, I don't see that happening after the more and more I hear about Orson Scott Card. I'm like, well, because see, back when I read Ender's Game, it was before I knew he was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, this is great.
He did write possibly the worst run of Iron Man comics I've ever read. Also,
How is he writing comics?
he wrote the Ultimate Iron Man series.
Oh, of course it was
And
Ultimate.
where it's like Iron Man, but what if it's Harry Potter?
Ugh.
Like literally, Tony Stark is a student at like what might as well be Science Hogwarts, and blows off his arm and uses the extremists to regrow his arm with nanomachines. It's a whole thing.
Wow, how long did it go on for?
Also terrible. So it's bad all around.
Okay, well, I'm not surprised.
I gave that trade paperback away.
You're like, bye.
Donated it to the library.
No, I have no, and it makes me sad because I really liked Ender's Game, and I really like Shadow the Hedgehog and all that.
I like Speaker for the Dead and Xenocide.
That's when they get a little bit more like Xenocide and Children of the Mind. We're starting to get way more like political.
Yeah, they are. And the thing is there's been some pretty interesting like stuff written about like the looking at Ender's Game as kind of like the buggies are the Jews and Ender is Hitler, and it's like what if Hitler was like kind of tricked into this situation, and then Xenocide and Speaker of the Mind as like his redemption arc for that. And I don't know if I believe that's what's going on in his mind, but I don't not.
I
hope
not. That's just, the problem is I can believe it too, but I really hope not, because that's just terrible.
Yeah, I don't know. I shouldn't throw around false accusations. It's whatever.
No, you're fine. The guy has made enough accusations in real life about what he thinks about homosexuality and stuff, so it's okay if we, write false, have a false rumor or something that could fit his stupid mind. So it's okay. He brought it on himself. Like, again, I will never understand why people who are famous go on Twitter and other stuff like J.K. Rowling, like, just keep your opinions to yourself. You're famous.
He does more than that. He's like heavily financed like stuff, also like conversion camps and things of that nature. So
okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And he was like a big backer of Prop 8 in California and so on. So
at that point, just buy another house. Just do that.
Yeah, he goes pretty hard on that stuff beyond just like saying stuff.
Or maybe finance Ender Game movie, a better one.
You didn't like the Harrison Ford Ender's Game movie?
No, I didn't. I don't remember it either very well. I just remember it wasn't that good. Nope. I just remember like I was somewhere, and I also I saw when I was at the same bookstore. The last thing I want to say, I saw Shadow the Hedgehog books in that series. I'm like, damn, that was a good series from what I remember. Mm-hmm. And it just makes me sad because it's like, I can normally separate the art from the artist depending on what it is, but I feel like those books it's a little hard to because.
Yeah, there was a time when I really liked his Alvin Maker series because I'm a history teacher and I like alternate history stuff. And then you get a little older and you look back at them and I'm like, oh, it is so racist. It is like super duper racist. It's the noble savage thing that Native Americans literally do like special nature magic and stuff. And it's something.
Yeah, so that makes it a little harder. Plus, when it comes to like an author. It's a one person that did something. It's not like a video game movie where it's lots of people involved. It's one person just writing.
But I'm sure
other people are involved.
I would say I wouldn't. No, don't let that turn you off of this video game because, like I said, he doesn't have anything to do with this video game. He doesn't get any money from this video game. He wrote a book based on this video game. So
yeah, in a world he didn't create, they just I think they pretty much just hired him to write the 2 books and
that's it. So it's completely you can play this 100% guilt free.
Because there's no character.
It is insane to me that they wrote books about this. It's like the most generic like action world that you could possibly think of.
But that's why they hired an author to write books so they could add something to the world.
Yeah, there's been some good tie-in books. The Gears of War books I've heard are pretty good, and I would not put those video game stories up on a mantelpiece for sure. And I personally think the story line of Halo is fucking stupid, and those books like Fall of Reach are pretty highly acclaimed. So
in high school Mike in 2002 really liked the Halo Reach book. I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
I do not know what 35-year-old Mike would think of it, but I can tell you 2002-year-old Mike thought it was really cool.
Yeah, I like the author who did it. I'm trying to remember their name, but
Eric Nyland.
Oh, is that who?
He did some of them. I don't know if he did that one, but I know he did some of them. He might have done other ones like First Strike. All right, let's go on to questions.
Yeah.
Remember.
Please.
That's fine. We're still only this episode's only been an hour and 14, so it'll be less when I edit. So, all right, first from the official Laser Time community, from Jack Dougherty, Castleroyd. From Chris Litchoice. This game got a ton of praise at the time, and I really enjoyed it, but I'm curious if it still stands out after all these years in similar games, or if it was really just good for the time. I think it still stands out.
Yeah, ish to both.
Yeah,
you guys played more Metroid than me, more Metroidvanias.
Yeah, I definitely think I said I think I answered this exactly.
Yeah.
Like, it was great at the time because it re-kickstarted Metroidvanias, but since then, this is sort of my middle of the road Metroidvania. Like I said, if I wanted to, start somebody on Metroidvanias, I would do this. But if you're already into Metroidvanias, I don't think there's any reason to play this one.
That's fair. Okay. And from Jose Truk, here's a good one. This is a game that started my backlog. There was no backlog before the release of this game. I really liked the game. Played it for a few hours, but Halo multiplayer kept me away from anything else. Finishing this one is always in the back of my mind. You should do it. It's not long.
It doesn't take long.
It's short. You can definitely finish this game
In a small amount of time.
Yeah.
So, all right. And then from the Metroidvania group that I posted in, I have first from David Wainwright. And Nola North voices the main character. Can't lose. Yeah, it's not just, it's too much Nathan Drake.
Yeah, you can definitely lose. That guy has very few voices.
Yeah, but he gets a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's fine. He's great.
He sounds the same always.
Yeah, he's a great, messy, brown-headed, white guy, square-jawed protagonist voice, but that's what he has.
Yeah, Troy Baker has more voices, I think, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Who did Batman in Arkham Origins?
Troy, I think.
Oh, I think he did Joker, I thought.
Oh, maybe he did both? He's done both characters at different points, so.
Okay, I can't remember. I was just right. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, from Lucas Leith. I played this game for the first time in 2009 and instantly loved it. It is a perfect blend of Super Metroid and Uncharted, two of my favorite games ever. The animation, story, set, action sequences, weapons, and move are all very polished and create an amazing experience. Okay. From Eric Bow, just bought this. I'm getting a Steam Deck next month, and it might be one of the first games I'm trying out in the system. It'll be perfect for a Steam Deck.
Yeah.
I didn't play it on a Steam Deck, but it would be perfect.
Yeah.
Steam Deck's perfect for so many games. I love my Steam Deck so much. And from Jared Bro, one of my faves. Often gets overlooked, but it basically started the Metroidvania indie scene. Yeah. And from another Metroidvania group, not the same group, but also called Metroidvania. From Frey Grissetti, great game. Brad Gilmartin. It's also been in my backlog about as long as I can remember. One of these days I need to bust it out. I like how I'm not the only one that sat on this game for 15 years. So.
Yeah, I think we've established that anybody who this is in their backlog, just play it. You could probably finish it in one sitting.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think I got 99% map and 99% items, and I was still under 5 hours, so it's not long at all.
Yeah.
No. All right, from Sid Fee. This one is pretty Metroid inspired, but does a good job of not biting Metroid style and story. And the gameplay is not bad for being a 2.5D design. Also released during 7th Gen. This is one of the early titles at the start of the indie scene that was part of the catalyst, the MV genre, really blowing up. A worthy title that was based on a novel, if I'm not mistaken. Close.
It's funny that it has less story. This game that spawned books has less story than Metroid that has literally no dialogue.
Well, that's because it's just it's generic enough that you thought, okay, we'll give it to an author and he'll make a world for us.
Yeah, I guess Metroid has all of its story in the manuals anyway.
Yeah, I mean, there's stuff in there.
Very little though.
Yeah, Metroid does a real
Prime.
Metroid does a real Dark Souls thing with its story. Like, you find out from the world, which is my favorite way of telling a story.
100%.
Yeah.
I said I would have liked more story in this. I would have liked to have more, but I'm also glad that I didn't get the story that the book supposedly would have told me. So
yeah, this game could have used story. This is the type of game, but Metroid's a different thing altogether. But this is set in the modern world, with regular people doing extraordinary things in a pretty regular environment. It's a completely different thing from a Metroid game.
Yeah, here's a good one from Paul Good. It's a very clearly a direct step away straight from Super Metroid, and they did a decent job with it. Not the best game ever, but fantastic if you want more Super Metroid with a G.I. Joe skin. I saw an interview with the director. Apparently, he made the entire team play Super Metroid for a while, then cut everyone off. The idea was to make something inspired by Super Metroid, but never actually directly reference it. They couldn't go back and look at it. They had to do it from memory. I thought it was an interesting approach.
Huh.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's great. I was where I got that thing I said about it earlier. I told you guys in the chat, but I listened to the I've been listening to the old Talk Radar podcast. I have a thing where it gives me 2 episodes of that a week, and so I just happened to be on episode 65 last week, and they were talking about this game coming out, and they were talking about, and it was like Chris Antista had said that he had met with them, and that was what they had said about the Super Metroid. That basically they wanted a Super Metroid game, and Nintendo wasn't making them, so they decided to make one themselves. But they were like super. All of them were like they had played it, and they all were like saying this game is amazing. You're gonna love it. And they were saying all the reviews were good, except I think IGN gave it a 75, and they were kind of talking about that. But
okay,
I thought it was neat.
Talk Radar was from Games Radar, right?
Yes, but it was.
I used to really like that website.
Yeah, and then whenever everyone got fired, they changed Talk Radar into Laser Time, which then is how you and I know each other, is through the Laser Time community.
That podcast isn't still going, is it really?
Laser Time? Well, I mean, occasionally.
Okay, because
their Patreon's still going. There's that.
I fell off of them a long time ago. But I know that I've seen in the group people like, oh, the new Laser Time just dropped, or they still do 30-20-10, right? And that's it.
And VGA, they have VGA and 30-20-10 every single week. They don't ever miss those.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I don't subscribe to their Patreon anymore after they went 8 months without content. I stopped subscribing, but they do typically one or 2 episodes a month on the Patreon when they're active with it. So
yeah, I'm surprised because I know they made a living off just podcasting at one time in videos, but maybe they don't anymore.
Well, I think Chris did. And
okay.
I don't know. I don't know the inside baseball. But anyway, point is, I didn't listen to Talk Radar back in the day, and so I'm going back. I've been listening to the Talk Radar episodes. I'm on episode 67 now. But yeah, 2 episodes ago, 65. They were talking about this game. And I enjoy listening to old podcasts like that and like transporting back in time to 2009. Like this, it's like they're talking about the new games coming out and how cool they are. And I'm like, oh yeah, that was a game.
And from the last group I'm gonna read is gonna be I watched the entire Orbital Super Replay group. I got a few from Brian Shutta. Shadow Complex is amazing. Chad Hager. I truly need to get back to this one. I love what I played of it. From Daniel Jones. It's a real bummer that this game isn't compatible with PS5 because I've been hankering to replay it lately and don't feel like digging out my PS4 for it. Did you play it on PS5?
I did.
Okay, so maybe I guess it does work.
Yeah, works fine. I mean, it's installed. It's PS5 plays PS4 games, so it's just installed. I have it installed on my external. You can basically on the PS5, any game made for PS5 can only be installed to the PS5 internal memory, either the onboard memory or the expansion. And then PS4 games by default go to an external hard drive if you have one. So I have all my any PS4 games are going on an external hard drive. But yeah.
Okay, I'll tell him that then, because I know the guy personally too. So, and he also put in my mind this game was the beginning of the Metroidvania boom we see to find ourselves in these days, and it feels like a real precursor to games like Metroid Dread and Ori. I love it. And Christian Johnson, that game is so good. I wish there was another one like it. And last comment, I'm going to read from Matt Pickleton. This is the game that got me back into Metroidvanias. I played Metro games on Symphony of the Night before this, but hadn't really been done like this before in a more modern setting. Metroidvanias are now one of my favorite genres, and Hollow Knight is one of my favorite games ever, and I got in them all thanks to this game. All right.
Cool. Well, I'd say if you want to play a game like this but better, Mummy Demastered.
Yep, I second Mummy Demastered. The
Mummy Demastered is very similar, but I would say it's better. And then Axiom Verge is different, but I mean it's if you're looking for more of the shooting Metroidvania type, Axiom Verge is kind of the gold standard of the indie shooting Metroidvania. I think.
Axiom Verge 1 is definitely way more Metroid inspired.
Yeah.
And I would say 2 is a little bit more Castlevania.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
But you also still have the drone from 1. So there's mechanics in there that are interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, 2 is a little more of a mix of the 2, I think, but it's more Castlevania style than Metroid style.
Yeah,
okay.
But Axiom Verge 1 is very...
1 you can definitely tell that he was trying to make a new Metroid game, and he succeeded pretty well.
Oh, yeah.
I have it on...
And it's hard. It's hard, too, but it's not, that hard.
When you say hard game, I'm like,
It's more challenging than this. Same with Mummy Demastered. Mummy Demastered is great. I never beat the final boss. I kind of
it's the bosses are real tough on that.
The bosses are real tough on that. The final boss, I just gave up on eventually, but that's fine.
I did beat Mummy Demastered, but I just have a thing where, like, if I get to the final boss of a game, I'm gonna beat it. Like, I don't have that quit. You know, if I've been playing a game for that long, I'm gonna beat it. And the bosses in that are definitely hard as nails. But I would say the final boss of Metroid Dread, I actually had more of a problem with.
Oh, really? No, that one I didn't. I beat that one really easy, but for some reason, Mummy Demastered, that one just goes forever. It's just such a long fight.
If you didn't have a problem with the Dread final boss, I think you can go back.
But I beat it.
Yeah, that might be true. I beat Mummy Demastered, or I played through Mummy Demastered years ago. So
yeah, I think you can go back and probably power through it, and I think it's definitely worth it.
Cool. But
Okay,
I would say, Shadow Complex is definitely worth playing. I'm just saying, if someone was like one of the commenters was like, well, I wish there were other games like it. There are, yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, there's lots of games like it now.
Yeah,
I think I have 113 on my list.
I really, besides this and Mummy Demastered, are probably the only ones I played where it's set in feels like kind of current time, like just slightly in the future. Like I can't think of any other Metroidvanias I've played where you're just like using guns instead of like I don't know. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking through and I'm really not finding too many. I think
so that was what struck me about it when it came out. And I was like, oh, it's like a Metroid game, but like set in like current day.
Yeah,
current day-ish, because you have like a super suit. But
there's one that I played called Exile's End that is almost like that, but it's dead last on my list, so it's not a good game.
Okay, I've seen it on Steam.
Good to know.
But I've never bought it.
It has like one of the hardest starts to a game I've ever played, because like you're just a guy, so like all the fall damage kills you. I think all the enemies are one-hit kills until you start getting armor and guns and stuff. That one's rough to get through.
Okay, I wouldn't like that.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't recommend that one to anyone but the most hardcore.
All right, let's go on to Shelf Stacker Box. And Michael Hughes, what about you?
I'm still going to put this on the shelf, even though we've done nothing but talk about how mid of a game this is the entire episode.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing stand out great about it, but it's still a fun one to pick up and play through in a few hours, which you can't really say about a lot of these modern ones. Like, I don't know who thought this genre needed to be 15 to 20 hours, but here we are. So, yeah, this is like the heyday of Metroidvanias for me, because I'm not as into them as I used to be. But back when this came out, and oh my god, Shadow Planet came out, Twisted Shadow Planet, that game with the UFO. Yeah, I love those. So yeah, I'll put it on the shelf.
Okay. And what about you, Michael Colby?
What were my options again?
Sorry. Shelf Stacker Box. Shelf being something you really like. Stack being something is mid tier, I guess is the way to put it. And box being something you dislike.
I'm going to box this one. It's fine. And playing through it twice was too much. Since, if this was 2013, or what did we say, 2009?
2009. 2009. The remaster might be 2013 or 2015.
Yeah, it is 2013.
Okay.
If it was 2009, this is a top tier game. But since then, so many better things have come out. There's really not a reason to replay this one.
Okay.
But fair. If you're playing it for the first time, go for it. But then you can trade it into GameStop for 17 cents.
Your digital copy.
Yep.
All right, now I'll go next. We'll wrap up the Michaels. I'm gonna put this in the stack. I had fun, but I do not need to play this game. But I am so happy I finally got this damn game off my backlog. I bought it on 360 so many years ago, and I finally beat it on my laptop in Epic. But at least I beat it. At least it's done. I played it, and I don't plan to ever play it again. But I did enjoy it. Just no interest. And too many games. What about you, Kerry?
I guess lovingly in the box. Like, I enjoyed playing it, but I'll never play it again. Like, there's no reason to ever play it again, in my opinion.
No.
So.
All right. Not what I okay. Well, that's not what I expected, but
I mean, I guess that's stack technically, right?
Well, either one is
if
fine.
you think it's
I mean,
but,
it's not
but it's
like this is like
to
whose
me,
line is it?
to me, stack is I liked
Titles
it.
don't matter.
Maybe I'll play it again someday, but no, I don't think I'll ever play it again. I can't ever see wanting to play it again.
All right, and I should mention what we're talking about next week. Next week, you can hear me talk about Assassin's Creed 1. So I'm excited to talk about that.
Yeah, that's great.
Revisiting it for the first time in I don't even know how many years. So long
I
time.
think of myself as an Assassin's Creed fan, but I never played 1 actually.
I thought it was, since I'm not going to be on the episode, just real quick. I didn't like it when I first played it, but when I went back after I was a fan of the series, holds up surprise. Like, it's better than some of the other entries in the series. Like, once you get past the very unlikable protagonist, there's a lot of cool stuff in that game.
At least I had one voiced by Nolan North in that one.
No, you get somebody whose voice is like, I have to kill the people for the Assassin's Order. I will do this.
It wasn't that bad. It's not good, but it wasn't that bad. But no, I'm having a really good time with that game. So I'll talk about that next week. And I'll announce it here, so that way I have to do it. Their next top 10 that we're going to be bringing out now is going to be a top 10 Metroidvania. So you can look forward to that happening at some point soon. And I can already tell you who's on it. So at some point we'll be releasing that. Probably my guess will come out in June or July, but it'll get recorded soon. So it will come.
Very cool.
Oh, right. And Kerry, where can people find you at?
Hey, so I stream video games and console repairing and modding on my Twitch and YouTube channel, which are both Kerooseta, Kerooseta.
And Michael Colby.
Well, like I said, This Bizarre Adventure and Jack Billings Presents Haunted Apartment Complex, which is a scripted comedy thing that takes place in a alternate dimension, Reading, Ohio. I play a ghost. My co-host is a gentle vampire. My other co-host is married to a werewolf. It's really weird, and I think it's really fun. And if none of that made sense, listen to the show.
Okay, there'll be a link in the show notes. And if you enjoyed this episode, you can find over 450 other episodes of this podcast. We do games, movies, comics, top 10 sometimes, all sorts of content. So go look through our giant catalog of content. You can go right on our website, Podbean, and search whatever you want. You might find it. Search Batman, you'll find something. Search Star Wars, you'll find tons of stuff. Just type in a word and see what comes up. Tons of stuff there to look at. And I want to give a shout out to my awesome intro and outro courtesy of Helena at Hell Has Fury. You can follow her on TikTok. You'll see a link in the show notes. And also want to give a shout out to my buddy Bill Tucker to the MCU movies. You'll see a link in the show notes of his podcast, Gamer Looks at 40. And if you do want to support the show, we do have a Patreon. And right now, since when you're hearing this, it's right before a new month, we have a new Patreon to announce. We are doing sequels that Mike has never seen. So the four choices, littlest dollar, you can vote. Resident Evil Damnation, Back to the Future 2, Ghostbusters 2016, or Blade Runner 2049. So you get to choose which one we're going to cover. So littlest dollar, you'll see a link in the show notes to our Patreon. And we have a Discord. If you want to chat with us, please join our Discord. You'll see a link in the show notes for that too. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and on YouTube. Audio only, but we are on YouTube. I think that's everything I need to say. So we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.